Now, I don't know about you, but last weekend setting my teams up for the Cap 230 and for the top tacklers was one of the most difficult optimise or compromise kind of head scratchers we've had on the channel, certainly over the last couple of months. In the video today, we're going to review exactly how we did in those competitions. Did we win cash, cards, boxes, essence, whatever it might have been going, as well as cast our eye forward to this weekend, see what other special weeklies are coming up and trying to work out if we've got anything that can really help us yield more with the cards that we have. Is there any special opportunity that, we can maybe dive into a little bit more, as well as maybe try and get a wee bit of giveaway action on the go in this video. At any point, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and get into the comment section. Let me know how you did with the Cap 230 and the top tacklers. Did you come out with a much better reward than you would have done otherwise by, rejigging the gallery up or whatever, prioritising the lineups and whatnot? Always interested to catch your guys' comments and see how the success you've had with these competitions have done, so always look forward to catching that. But yeah, let's just get stuck straight into it, because the Cap 230 for me was the competition I was really actually quite excited for, and I was quite happy to maybe, gerrymander some of the lineups, cherry pick some players in and around, and maybe make some of those optimise and compromise decisions that we keep speaking about. And looking at how the Cap 230's done, sadly, it was kind of, the primary team here, because we didn't know that Luis Jr. was definitely going to play. It was just more of a hedge kind of situation. But with the number one lineup, we went with Elias Baum, who brought in a 51, which, considering they won 6-0, is pretty cack. But for a fullback, that's kind of an acceptable score for the most part. Teji with the captain bonus didn't really get into the 60 pluses. Baku got his decisive, which is cool. And Hornby came off injured in this one. But it was really Zach Hemmen just bringing in 1 point, which was an absolute killer in this lineup. We still broke into the top 50%, which I think tells you everything you need to know. 100 points essentially off of getting into the cash, which, considering, the goalkeeper was essentially a DNP, and even one of these guys, the captain, could have done a little bit better. This was so close to paying off big time. But even the little hedge lineup that we had, Luis Jr. played, he scored big, but nothing else for this team went right. Sucic didn't start, Roque didn't start or score, and Captain Jordan was just not a good shout. Welsh did alright on the Friday night, but which gave me a little bit of hope. And this one actually scored better than the last team, and was only like 60 points off in the end. So close but no cigar, a sad one there. But the top tacklers was actually the one, if you watch the deadline show, that I actually had some of the top cards available in the competition, and we just went, screw it, and put them all together into a lineup. O'Toole paid off big time, Bernabe paid off big time, and Cammy Devlin, he did okay, I suppose, but Gregor was the real one that slowed us down here. We broke into the top 8%, just under 450 points, by the way, but we were only 15 points off of getting into the better box, which would have just been a much sweeter win. But getting into the top 20% is an acceptable W. We're probably only going to get one essence from it though, so I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. And even our hedge play, our second team, when I seen how well Hitate and Limer had done before bonuses or multipliers come onto it, I thought, there was a 5 there we could have put together, and we would have had the perfect combo. We would have absolutely smashed it. But sadly, it wasn't to be. Gregor and Devlin, could have been swapped out for those two, so sad, but we got something. We got a box, which is fine. No cash, sadly. And when we come to look at the weekend special collectors events that we've got for the Bundesliga, they're only available as limited competitions in this game week. So at limited level, this is really going to thin the herd, thin the crowd for the Bundesliga native, for the core comp, as well as I think champion as well, with some of the key pieces, your Kimmiches and whatever's not only rotating because there's Champions League action on the go, but even your Leverkusens and Stuttgarts, your Dortmund, some of those secondary stacks, they're going to be much more spread further around this game week. So although I'm not participating in it, 'cause I just don't have the cards for it, maybe you are, maybe you're not, but just be aware that this is going to open up some scored potential maybe for some of those other cards, or even if you zig and zag against that with those stacks in question. But the only actual special that we do have that's kind of open to everyone and anyone is ultra attacking. Now this is quite similar to what we had a while ago with the goalkeeper one or whatever, but the defender and extra position must be forwards, so we're playing a goalkeeper, a midfielder and 3 forwards in this one, which could be sweet. Now I'm actually getting deja vu from picking my NYCFC Road to Glory teams and saying, oh, I've got 3 strikers, I can't put them all into a team, and I don't think they're strong enough to go into this lineup necessarily, but we should certainly certainly have enough firepower to get us through this one. I think Barkas is the easy pick for goalkeeper, and because I've not went and picked like all my regions at this point of recording yet, I'm trying to look at nailed on classic cards, and I'm looking at Ferran Torres. I just think he'll be involved in a lot of rotation come the weekend for Barca away to Leganés. Before then, having a look at all the forwards I've got, and could I play 3 Celtic forwards at home at Kilmarnock with Rodgers maybe putting a rocket up their backside and chase that down? We've got the likes of Cherky and Depay, who could all be really good as well, but are quite region required as it were. But having a glance across this, I do think I've got enough firepower to certainly be in contention. We're even looking at the possibility of a core lineup like this. It might not be Openda, I might rotate him around. Same with Ferran Torres, but even Mikey Johnson at home, Larsson at home, Barkas at home. That's a nice wee structure that I don't mind putting out. That I think, could I make that team as competitive as possible? I think that's quite easy to think about at this stage of the game week. And that is a template, as a placeholder for then when I'm going around later on building all my teams, is going to help me, optimise or compromise kind of the situation here. Top 20% isn't that exciting to get into, and I think we could reasonably expect to be in and amongst that. So it's really if we can get together, once we've built all of our other teams, or see the priority strength we've got across, contender through all those in-season teams, as well as what do we do with under 23 and 1 or 2 other bits and bobs? We might be able to get some extra firepower into here. I'm not too sure I would go all the way to prioritising that for myself personally, but if the entry level stays low, this competition is all going to be about decisives, and if I've got a few guys in here that are quite decisive capable but aren't always ripping out AA, I could maybe just about see myself throwing some bits and bobs together for this. But a lot of the cards we've got are contender based, and I'm definitely prioritising that. And then the champion guys, none of them are that special where, outside of maybe Cherky or, that's probably kind of it actually, because all the champion guys, Oyarzabal could do alright. There's not actually that much going on for me for classic champs. I don't know if I'm going to even really save anyone for that or not. Maybe I do just put Oyarzabal in at home to Mallorca, pen taker and all that. Ferran Torres, maybe we just do that. A lot of AA across all the forward spots, a midfielder that is kind of up front, so it's kind of ultra attacking for us here. And as long as hologram hands can keep it together, we should do okay. Now for Best of Europe this week, there's actually a bit slim pickings here on the fixture list. Matt Ryan looks to be my goalkeeper of choice so far. Barco did great for us. We never actually seen the results from last week on Best of Europe on the video already. Apologies, but we had one guy that let us down. I forget who it was. We'll maybe check that out in a second. But I'd be quite tempted to play Barco again at home to Nice, but surely there's a better play than that. It's a bit safer, good fixture, etc. And I don't mind going out on a limb with Miguel Gutierrez away to Osasuna. That feels like a very good game for him. We could just play the Teji Severny again. So tempted to play Cherky, but playing midweek, you just don't want a double dip on that one, I don't think. Same with Mikatuadze. Love to pick them on their fixture, but with the midweek kind of getting involved there, that's a wee bit tougher. Bakwa potentially is back at it and back on it. AA is there, and if you can get a decisive, again, it's just against Nice, you just know it's going to be a wee bit of a tougher game. It's harder to pick them with absolute confidence, but big players and big games, all the rest of it. This guy's been doing alright for Le Havre, fair play to him. There is Gaetan Perrin playing Lyon after they've played in Europe. That could be pretty sneaky. I think I'm going to... Oh, is Playa at home? Playa is at home to Freiburg. Let's put in Playa. And I don't think Andre Santos does bad in that sort of match. I think he's very good for triples and all the rest of it. Xavi Simons is somewhat tempting, by the way, seeing his fixture there. Bischoff building a wee bit of an OKL 5 again at home to Mainz, although they're flying high. And we gave away Aliesh Garcia last week on the deadline show, and I'd be kind of tempted to maybe put him in again at home to Union Berlin. I do want to give away the Teji Severny as well, of course, but I can't remember if I said to do that on the last video. There was only 2 comments or something, so no one entered it. So on next week's video, as long as we get to 50 likes and at least a few of you are getting involved in the comment section and entering the giveaway, we'll do the Teji Severny. We'll give that limited card away to one of you guys in the comment section of the video. On screen are now some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this as well. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one.